welcome as we continue our theme of inspiration, of what inspires us and how we inspire others. This month, we're thinking about what it means to be inspired by beauty. I've just come in from a stroll around my garden, needing some fresh air and inspiration. And as I stroll, I leave behind a little trail of weeds I've pulled out along the way. I notice which plants I choose to pull out and which ones I nurture. Not everything I pull out is a weed, and not all weeds need to be pulled out. Some weeds are very pretty, and if they're not likely to suffocate other things growing in the garden, they get to stay, at least for a while. And so I think about beauty. It's not so simple to define, and certainly not black and white. Which plants are beautiful and should keep growing? Which plants should be pulled out, and why? I've recently read some comments about beauty and how beauty can sustain and even energize us in difficult times. And these are certainly difficult times. I definitely don't need to spell them out. And it would seem we all need to discover places of beauty around us and within us to enable us to live joyfully and abundantly at this present time. This month, following on from the inspiration of creativity and wisdom, we are looking at how beauty inspires us and how we can be a beautiful inspiration to others so they too can live their lives well with joy and freedom. O Lord our God, let your sweet beauty rest upon us. Come, work with us, and then our works will endure. You will give us success in all we do. O my soul, bless God. God, my God, how great you are, beautifully, gloriously robed, dressed up in sunshine, and all heaven stretched out for your tent. It's a good thing to sing praise to you, our God. Praise is beautiful. Praise is fitting. Sing God a brand new song. Earth and everyone in it, sing. Sing to God, worship God. Shout the news of his victory from sea to sea. Take the news of his glory to the lost, news of his wonders to one and all. For God is great and worth 1,000 hallelujahs. His furious beauty puts the other gods to shame. Pagan gods are mere tatters and rags. God made the heavens. Royal splendor radiates from him. A powerful beauty sets him apart. Creator God, you are sheer beauty, all generous in love, loyal always and ever. My soul blesses you, O my God. From head to toe, I'll bless your holy name. You forgive our sins, every one. You heal our diseases, every one. You redeem us from hell, save our lives. You renew our youth. We're always young in your presence. Some years ago, we lived in a third-floor apartment with the only windows looking out to concrete buildings on either side of us. If I really leant out the laundry window and craned my head up and out to the back, I could just catch a glimpse of an old walnut tree. Being surrounded by concrete, with so few glimpses of green, despite our best efforts to create green space, shriveled my soul. I recently read that beauty is one of the 3 virtues, along with truth and goodness, needed for a healthy society, and is actually a crucial part of life. I certainly feel that it's a necessary part of my life. Almost 400 years ago, French philosopher Blaise Pascal said, "In difficult times, you should always carry something beautiful in your heart." Whatever age we live in, there will be difficult times, and recognizing the oasis that beauty offers us can help to sustain us. Pausing for a moment to gaze at a sleeping cat, or to notice the tiny first fruit on an avocado tree, or to wonder at a dew-covered spider's web, all provide a respite from other things that might be consuming us. When we reflect on beauty, we can easily be sidetracked by trying to define what it is and searching far and wide for what is beautiful. Or we can choose to notice the small thing right in front of us, that at this very moment is simply beautiful. We are surrounded by beauty, and at any given time, what strikes us as beautiful might be different from how we saw that same thing yesterday or even earlier today. I picture beauty as spiraling in and out through at least 4 different spheres. The God of creation is radiant with beauty and the source of all beauty. The created world reflects all the beauty of this Creator. Humanity, created in the image of God, is luminous with this same beauty. And this beauty flows into and out of each one of us individually, and so back into the heart of God and the heart of creation, ever spiraling and circling through these spheres. We can discover and rediscover beauty in all these spheres and allow that beauty to inspire and transform us. Many of us find it easier to see beauty in the created world around us, rather than in God, in other people, or in ourselves. The words we use to describe God may more often speak of God's love, goodness, justice, mercy, or anger, judgment, and so on. Yet some of the prophets and psalmists clearly saw the radiant, even fierce beauty of God, and were able to describe this, frequently with great awe and wonder. In a world filled with hate, violence, and unkindness, we might at times struggle to see the luminous beauty of God in other people. In Jesus' time, where there was also much hate, violence, and oppression, one unnamed woman offered such a kindness that it has been talked about for centuries. She simply anointed Jesus' feet with costly oil. And Jesus responded to the criticism of this action by pointing out, "She has done a beautiful thing to me." One small moment of beauty in the midst of so much suffering and uncertainty. The most difficult place, however, to discover beauty can be within our own self. Society has conditioned us to judge ourselves by our physical appearance, generally based on the opinions of others. And when we do, we may feel we come up short. But it's not just physically. We recognize there is unkindness, shame, mistrust, and a whole host of other aspects within ourselves that make us feel anything but beautiful. We carry wounds and scars that we often try to hide without realizing it is precisely these wounds which make us beautiful. There is an honored tradition in Japan, the art of kintsugi, of repairing broken pottery, using lacquer to seal the cracks, and then dusting those sealed places with gold, silver, or platinum. Something flawed and broken becomes something precious and unique. There is something empowering and immensely beautiful about allowing our deep inner selves to be seen with such vulnerability and rawness, and in recognizing the possibilities of restoration and transformation. The real essence of our beauty, however, deeper than our cracks, flaws and wounds, and far deeper than our physical appearance, comes from our union with God, who is the living vine and the radiant light within us. If we are deeply connected to the vine, the Creator, the source of all beauty, how can we not be beautiful? When God's light shines through us, through those cracks and flaws, when we live and move and have our very being in the Holy and Radiant One, then other people's ideas about beauty truly fade into the background. And we can choose to live lives that reflect God's beauty by offering kindness, like the woman who anointed Jesus' feet, by speaking the right word at the right time, by discovering beauty in everyone, and by remembering and living by the reality that we were created in the image of a beautifully radiant God, whose light transforms the world and who has called us to be light. Let's allow the beauty of God to rest upon us, flow through us, and beautify the world around us today. Creator God, your beauty and love chase after me every day of my life. I'm back home in the house of God, for the rest of my life. Whenever, though, they turn to face God, as Moses did, God removes the veil, and there they are, face to face. They suddenly recognize that God is a living, personal presence, not a piece of chiseled stone. And when God is personally present, a living spirit, that old constricting legislation is recognized as obsolete. We're free of it, all of us. Nothing between us and God. Our face is shining with the brightness of His face. And so we are transfigured much like the Messiah, our lives gradually becoming brighter and more beautiful as God enters our lives and we become like Him. May the God of beauty be with you, filling your heart with the beauty of creation, sensitizing you to the beauty hidden beneath hurt and pain, poverty and suffering. May your eyes be open to the beauty within yourself and to the marvel of God's dream for you. May the blessing of beauty be with you.